Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Delete Lawz. Thank you. Okay, there we go. What is going on out there in the land of the unfree America? How is everybody doing? Today's broadcast from Duncan, Oklahoma. If you guys did not know and you're not aware, I'm in Duncan, Oklahoma. I just went by Walmart, and when I was at Walmart, no less than 3 people walked up to me and said, "We have a story." One of those 3 people was willing to go on camera. Tomorrow, you guys will see that story. Good to see everybody. Double tap on that screen, hit the like button. Let's get a few people in here. So if you're in Duncan, Oklahoma, I am here. I'm not leaving here for a minute because there's too many people who are contacting me and telling me stories about the Duncan, Oklahoma Police Department. If you're one of those people, I answer every single email. So we have to talk about the elephant in the room right now. Charlie KIRK was murdered, and the murder of Charlie KIRK will now create what I am going to dub the 9/11 for influencers. 9/11, my birthday tomorrow, changed America forever. If you're under 25 years old, you don't really know how America was before 9/11. Now that Charlie KIRK was murdered for simply talking, for simply opening dialogue, it is going to fundamentally change the relationship between influencers and the public. Because now each and every one of us, I got no less than 5 phone calls from people, some other influencers calling me and telling me, "Chille, please be careful. They're now killing people for disagreements. We may not agree on everything. I do not endorse hurting, shooting, killing other people. And anybody who talks like that or has anything to do with that, I can't have you anywhere near me. I do not agree with violence." Rest in peace, Charlie KIRK. If you guys don't know, I bend left and I bend right. And in 2020, I attended Turning Point USA in Phoenix, Arizona. And I had a great time. I met Charlie KIRK. I took a picture with him. There's nothing wrong with Charlie. He was a good dude. Rest in peace, Charlie KIRK. Put Charlie KIRK in the chat, everybody. Charlie KIRK. Watching him get shot in the neck today riveted me. It changed. It's going to change everything. It's going to change everything, and you guys are going to see it happen. It's going to be absolutely horrifically bad. Good to see you, First Amendment Protection Agency. You guys, do me a favor, double tap on that screen, hit the like button, tap right on your screen for me. Everybody double tap real quick. Thumbs up, hit the thumbs up if you're on your computer. Just do this for me super quick if you would, please. So it's the 9/11 for influencers. Everything from here changes. The relationships, you're now going to see some of these big guys like Ben Shapiro who have, multi-million followers, that when they talk now, there's going to be a bulletproof glass there. We're going to see it. And this idea that we should, this idea in some circles that violence is the only answer is wrong. I completely and utterly disagree with it. The moment we stop talking is when the violence begins. So shout out to everybody who's in Duncan, Oklahoma. Everybody, I'm in Duncan, Oklahoma. I'll be here. I'm not leaving. I'm going to stay here because every day new people are contacting me and telling me their story. So today what I heard in Duncan, Oklahoma is you can't ride a bike. If you ride a bicycle, not a motorcycle, if you ride a bicycle in Duncan, Oklahoma, the police will pull you over and ID you. If you're wearing a backpack and you ride a bike in Duncan, Oklahoma, this is just so unbelievable what we're up against now, because to me, the most dangerous people in our country are cop-sucking bootlickers, because their affinity and their love for these guys who sign up to be cops is disgusting. And so for me personally, I now have to be extra vigilant because monkey see, monkey do. And I want everybody to condemn that murder of Charlie KIRK, even if you're far, far, far on the left, because I already see on the right on Twitter, all these people are saying this was a Democratic killing, this was a Democratic murder. And I'll tell you what, he got hit right in the jugular. I mean, he got hit right in the artery right there. He got hit right in the artery. And I just absolutely despise violence. You know, I remember fighting as a kid, fighting in through my 20s. I remember I swore off fist fighting when I was 25 years old. I didn't get in another fist fight. I had one fist fight at 26 when the guy showed up at my house and wouldn't leave. But even then, after it was over, I picked him up off the ground, shook his hand, didn't hurt him, and said, good job, bro. You came here and you got what you deserved. Nice to see you, Candy Christ. Candy Christ, level 3. Holy snarling snake shit, Candy Christ. You must want to have a conversation. So thank you for joining. Everybody welcome Candy Christ in the chat. Everybody welcome Candy Christ. Thank you for coming. So again, this is a shout out. This is a shout out to anybody in Duncan, Oklahoma. I just went to Walmart. 3 people approached me. One went on camera with his story that he's not allowed to ride a bicycle in Duncan, Oklahoma. Because if you ride a bicycle here, the cops will grab you and pull you over. I put out a video this morning. Captain Steve Conkler's in the room. Captain Team DLZ. Good to see you, Steve. Thank you. I appreciate it so much, Candy Christ. It means an absolute ton to me. I'm in Duncan, Oklahoma. Tomorrow is my birthday. So tomorrow on my birthday, I will sit and I will review videos with you guys, and we'll sit and hang out and we'll talk for a couple hours on my birthday. But I had to go live for a little while. The thing is I can't stand that. I don't know why I cannot get that to stop. It just drives me absolutely crazy. Right on. I can't stand that. I don't know how to stop it. It's just driving me nuts, but I'll figure it out, I promise. Sooner or later. Give me a 5x5 if you guys can hear me okay. Give me a 5x5 if you guys can hear me okay. I'm in a gym here and I'm hot. And I just, Wrights on, good to see you, man. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. So listen, we have to, as a group, as Team DLZ, we have to swear off violence. We have to be sure that we put out the message that we do not endorse a violent reaction to things. We do not endorse shooting each other. We don't endorse fighting each other. And even my rhetoric, the way I talk down to these dirty pigs, not all of them are dirty pigs. There's some good police officers out there. They're just rare to find because you see a bad pig doing something on the scene, and then there's a good cop, so-called, and he's not arresting that cop, jumping on top of him and arresting him. And that's the problem. That's why so many people say there's no good cops, because we see the few bad apples doing what they do, and then there's no good cop to jump on top of him and say, what the hell are you doing? And we've only seen it once. I don't know about you. Have you guys seen it more than once? I've only seen it once, where that female pigtail grabbed to hold that guy by his duty belt and pulled him back. Do you guys remember that? That's the only time I've seen an actual good cop on the scene, and she got fired. She got fired. And so, you know, we're just in this conundrum of a situation in our country where the idea that violence is acceptable and violence is okay. And just so you guys know, when the moment Charlie KIRK was shot, I had 10 people email me, and I got the emails immediately because I was sitting in front of my computer doing the edit for Heather Chandler, which the video came out today. And I hope more people will watch that video. I hope more people will watch what Darius McReynolds here in Duncan, Oklahoma is doing to Heather Chandler. And I wonder how many other women Darius McReynolds is doing that to. And it's funny, I watched the video of Darius McReynolds, and let me tell you something. To me, he looks like he's a little bit slow. He looks like he's a little slow. And then I saw the celebration of Darius becoming a police officer, and it's almost like one of those, it's almost like he's like a special needs kid that finally got through the police academy and got to become a cop. Like, Darius McReynolds, to me, just so you know, is the biggest beta male bitch of police that I have seen since Ironton, Ohio, when I met Evan McKnight. I have seen very few beta male bitches as much as Darius McReynolds. I have very rarely seen a bigger bitch in my life, because now I got stories coming in about Darius McReynolds. People are calling me and telling me their stories. Darius McReynolds, such a punk. Like, I don't know if he was actually a special needs kid and just got through the police academy. I'm not really 100% sure. But to me, there we go. But to me, yo, Tackwish, thank you for the gifted memberships. I really appreciate it. We're gonna do a long live stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's my 51st birthday. I'll probably be filming cops right when my birthday strikes, because I'm gonna continue to film cops. I have driven around this town time and time, over and over and over, and there are so few pullovers happening right now in Duncan, Oklahoma. The exact same thing happened when I was in Ironton, Ohio, when I went to go drive around and see the cops, what they were doing, if they were pulling anybody over. Very few pullovers. I think that I didn't even get one police audit in Ironton, Ohio after the first day I was there, because there was no cops pulling over anybody anywhere. So hopefully tonight I'll be able to get out and see some cops pulling people over, but I just don't know. So again, if you're in, you guys do me a favor, double tap on that screen, double tap on the screen, right on your phone, just tap right on your screen, or hit the like button. If you're watching on your computer, we got 500 people in here. Let's get 500 likes real quick. If you would, pretty please, with sugar and cherries on top. I know I've been out of my normal rhythm because I'm here and I'm investigating people. John Gentry with a $20 super chat, right on, Playboy. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate the support. Just so you guys know, I'll be honest with you. I took a huge pay cut to come here. I put over $1,000 into this right now, just to be more than that. This trip is going to end up costing about $2,000 because I just bought my return ticket home. This trip's going to cost me about $2,000. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to make up. I considered in my head, you know, there'll be some people who support me on my birthday tomorrow, and I was just, I don't know. The thing is that when I get a call like I got from Heather Chandler, and then she sent me the video, and I saw what he did to her on her bike, where he pulls her over in the middle of nowhere, and he walks up to her and says, "Do you ride this very often?" Like, you're really good. James Forbes with a super chat. Thanks, buddy. He runs up to a woman who's on a bike in the middle of nowhere, pulls her over and says, "You put your feet down to stop and didn't use your brakes." I'm not sure if the editor has got that video out yet, but what's happening here is tyranny. And I get new people contacting me. Right now, there's a guy who just contacted me who's sending me all the body camera today. I just met with another guy who was filming police. They pulled him over and they gave him a DUI. I just met with another kid, and he said, when I was riding my bike the other day, the cops pulled me over because I had a backpack on. The cops are harassing people in Duncan, Oklahoma. Chuck P with the $20 super chat. What's up, Chuck P? Thanks a lot for the support, dude. I appreciate it. I love you, buddy. I hope everything's going okay for you. So look, you know, I want to make sure that I connect with the audience every single day with Team DLZ, and you guys know who you are. Put Team DLZ if you are a diehard member of Team DLZ, and we don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. And I also wanted to speak a little bit on Charlie Kirk, a man who I met face-to-face in 2020, shook his hand, took a picture with him. I'll see if I can find that picture in my photo album. But the murder of Charlie Kirk is the 9/11 of all influencers. It will change the world fundamentally and forever for all influencers. And so I have to consider myself in that group of people that now I have to be a little more vigilant. I have to be a little more cautious, because there are psychos out there who are killing people because they have a different perspective. And I cannot believe that Charlie Kirk was murdered on camera. It riveted my soul to see that happen. And I watched the close-up of the bullet going in. And I mean, he was, just so you know, I've been hunting and fishing my entire life. And when I saw the shooting of Charlie Kirk, I knew right away, he's dead. There's no saving somebody, because when you shoot a moose or a bear, when you walk up on that moose or bear, the first thing you do is you take your knife and you stick it in right there. And that's exactly where Charlie Kirk got shot. So it is sad. It is disgusting. It is abhorrent. It is something I condemn 1,000 times over. I did not agree with Charlie Kirk on many issues. I went to Turning Point USA in 2020. Charlie Kirk and his staff welcomed me. I was an influencer then on TikTok. They gave me a free pass. I met tons of really great people at Turning Point USA. I didn't attend Turning Point USA again after 2020 because I found out that my political persuasions align left and they align right. But some of the things they were saying on the right, I didn't agree with. I don't hate trans people or gay people or think that they're the biggest problem in our country. And a lot of Turning Point USA's points of view have to do with that. I don't agree. So I kind of distanced myself from them. But to all my Turning Point USA friends who I met over that 2020 trip or 3-day conference, I love you guys. I support you 100%. I 100% condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk. I think it's disgusting. And I think everybody should openly condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk. It's going to change everything for everybody who is an influencer forever and ever and ever. And it's never going to go back. Because now, as an influencer, when I go up to film cops, or I'm going to go this tiny ass town in Duncan, Oklahoma, where the other day a cop brandished his firearm and showed it and put his hand on his firearm. And I told him later, you pulled your gun. He said, I didn't pull it. But he may not have pulled it out of the holster, but he certainly pulled up his shirt and showed that he had a firearm on his side. And now I have to think and wonder, is this psychopath going to shoot me because I want to run down the dirty pigs in the police organization? Now, there are some good police officers out there. I don't see them very often because I watch bad cops run roughshod over people. I don't see those good police officers arresting that bad cop. But I hold out hope that I can meet good police officers who I can support. Listen, I've been carjacked. I've dealt with gangbangers. I've had my car stolen. I had to call the police because they can only do those functions because they have a monopoly on power. So we do need peace officers. We do need rights protectors. But we don't need dirty pigs in the midst who are running roughshod over people's civil liberties. And that's the biggest problem that I have. That is the problem I have with pigs. Now, there are police officers and there are pigs. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. There are police officers and there are pigs. Do you agree? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Put a 2 in the chat if you disagree. To me, the line is clear. There are police officers out there and there are pigs out there. The majority of the people believe that there are pigs and there are police officers. I have not seen one single 2 yet. Not even one. When someone said ACAB, I see that, Scrubzilla. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. 1111111. Not a single 2 in the entire chat. And that's the problem I have, is that here in Duncan, Oklahoma, there is a pig named Darius McReynolds who is pulling people over and harassing them. And by the way, Duncan PD, stop pulling over people on their bikes because they're riding on this side of the road or that side of the road. The cops in Duncan, Oklahoma are pulling you over on your bike if you're on the wrong side of the road. What a scam. What a scam. Like Jeff Lloyd said in the Terry era documentary, if there's a law in the books, there's a cop ready to enforce it. The reason this channel is called Delete Lawz is because we have to delete these dumb laws off the books, like riding your bike on the wrong side of the road is probable cause to be stopped. That's the problem. We are truly, truly facing a total and full-on police state. And I also saw the other day, and I saw this on Here's the Deal's Twitter on High Impact Flicks. I also saw the other day this Ukrainian woman gets stabbed by this guy. And this is the worst part. After she was murdered by some psycho on a subway, after that, I went on X and it was politicized. And when I went on Instagram and it was politicized. People on the left sticking up because the guy was black, sticking up, people on the right going against it. Listen to me, you want to know? I stand with the people on the right over that Ukrainian woman being murdered. That guy should get the death sentence. I have always said I am 100% against the death penalty unless we catch you in the act of graping that child. If you're in the act of graping a child and we get it on video, off with his head. If we catch you on video, cold-blooded, offing another person, you should go. You should not be in our society. And I'm anti-death penalty, all the way anti-death penalty, unless it's caught on camera and we see you graping a child or we see you killing somebody on camera in cold blood. And in my opinion, right there, you have lost your ability to live this life with the rest of us because you will take other people's lives. I don't care what drugs you were on. I don't care how your childhood was. I don't give a shit. If you murder somebody and we see it on camera, you got to go. you can't stay here. If you grape a child and it's on camera and we got you and you did it, there's no he said, she said, or there could be a confusion. We catch you, we walk in the room and we see you and you're graping a kid, you got to go, dude. And I mean it. I mean it. I 100% mean it. And I still have voted anti-death penalty. 100%. We have different referendums on the ballot here in California. I'm actually in Duncan, Oklahoma right now, but I'm 100% against the death penalty. There's no doubt about it. And the reason why is because in at least 1/3 of the cases, someone is wrongly convicted in a death penalty case. And that's why I'm against the death penalty. In this particular case in Ukraine and the particular case of Charlie Kirk, well, there's no video of who actually did the shooting. And it looks to me, I don't want to get conspiracy theorist or anything on you, but it looks to me like that was a professional hit. That's what it looks like to me, because he got shot. The shooter must have been well over 100 yards away, and they hit him right in the spot. I can't see the super chats, but I want to say thank you for the super chats. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And be ready. I may be going live again later tonight because I have someone I'm going to be talking to later tonight. And so I may be going live again later tonight. But it's just, I feel like our whole world today changed with the murder of Charlie Kirk. Every single influencer who puts their, so, you know, the guys that I recommend put their boots on the ground, First Amendment Protection Agency, BZ Watchdog, Potters Media, the people who I am actively working with to put their Wichita audits. There's people, Caroline and Fort Worth, people who go out and put their boots on the ground. We now have to have not a paranoia, but a real legitimate concern for our safety. We have to have that legitimate concern. And it's funny because when I go out and film cops, they have absolutely no fear that I'm going to beat them up because they have guns and they have sticks and they have tasers and I got a camera and a microphone. It's totally different. You guys double tap on that screen for me real quick. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Consider becoming a channel member because I'll be going live again over the next couple days here in Duncan, Oklahoma. There it is right there. Horse shit happens from Let's OTVO with a $50 super chat. Holy snarling snake shit. You guys double tap on that screen for me with your finger. Just tap right on the glass. We got 1,200 people in the room. Let's get those likes up. Thanks a lot, Let's OTVO. I appreciate it. I got to give you a phone call, Let's. We got to talk in the next 12 to 24 hours. Today has been kind of a whirlwind, but I couldn't believe I walked in Walmart. I just walked in Walmart here in Duncan, Oklahoma. 3 people walked up to me and said, let me tell you my story about what the Duncan PD did to me. 3 people. And it wasn't what happened to my cousin. It wasn't what happened to my best friend's brother. That's not what it was. 3 people in Walmart, I was there for 10 minutes, walked up to me, took a picture with me and said, let me tell you what the cops did to me in Duncan, Oklahoma. So, you know, it's funny because I went to Washington, D.C., and I was looking for the police takeover. And when I found it and I filmed it, my account was then suspended for a week the next day, which I think there's a direct correlation between those two things. I'm 100% sure. Horse shit, says Let's OTVO. I totally agree with you. Pro Se America, still fighting for his rights. Greg B. with a super chat. Pro Se America said, Vallejos versus Bonta and Blanco. I'm sorry, Vallejos versus Bonta and Bianco. Rights aren't for sale. Pro Se America fighting his own federal civil rights lawsuit. Greg B. said, Chille's the man. We don't stop. Put it in the chat for me, you guys. Put it in the chat for me. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. Chuck P. says, let's match. This is for Chille's birthday. Chuck P. Chuck P, man. You, my friend, you are my Quan. Do you know that, Chuck P? My prayers have been out for you all week this week, you know, thinking good thoughts about some of the things that you're dealing with in your life and for your friend as well. My thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in your family, and I'm thinking about you. Somebody match me. Right on, Chuck. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Tomorrow, we're going to do a birthday stream. Tomorrow, I'll do a birthday stream. I'm going to sit in studio. I'm just going to review videos. The lighting's not going to be great because I don't have a great setup, but I will. It'll be my live stream for my birthday, so that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. So I just want to give another shout out. I want to keep this going because there's more and more people emailing me and contacting me every day. If you live in Duncan, Oklahoma, and the sheriff's department here or the Duncan Police Department have beat you or cheat you, I want to hear your story. Captain Steve Conkler with a $50 super chat. The police with a $5 super chat. I know who that is. How you doing, honey? Thanks, Captain Team DLZ. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, the police. I really appreciate your support. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you guys saw the murder of Charlie Kirk. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys saw and you've seen it on X where it's unedited because there's no censorship on X. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys saw it, because what I saw today, I mean, it makes me be rightfully concerned for my own well-being, because whether I like it or not, I am a politically polarizing person, because I openly say that cops are pigs when they are. And they are. They absolutely are. Right on. Thank you, Roberto68 with a $10 super chat. Right on, brother. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you, Roberto. I really appreciate you. And you guys, the guys who super chatted because you have the ability to do so, thank you so much. I'm traveling right now. I'll be about $2,000 on this trip to come here. You guys are making my millennial, because it's hard. It's hard to be a civil rights activist because you're always pulled in different directions. So many people bring you their cases and their information, and you want to do everything you can for them. And at the same time, you know how limited you are, because if you don't have a video of what happened to you, then my ability to expose what happened to you shrinks so small, because it's just your word against the dirty cops that cheated you. And then I feel like I'm helpless and I can't help you. And it's really, really frustrating. You know, I know it. I know it, Chille V. I know it. Chille V, it is so hard. It is. Yeah, but the thing is that's probably in my cards. That's probably exactly what I'm going to do. That's probably exactly what I'm going to do. And because I can't stop. The fact that I probably will end up going to law school and becoming an attorney is a very real possibility, because I just turned 51 in 6 hours. So the chance of me going to law school and becoming an attorney so that I can fight for people in court is a very high probability. I just have a couple things I have to finish before I can really focus on doing that. But we're just this far away. We're just this far away. Time is one of these things that you don't have a lot of control over. And life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. So it's Smoke and Guns is here. Smoke and Guns is in the room. Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. I wanted to come on, as you guys know, I want to connect with you guys every single day, with Team DLZ especially, because I hear stories from people that keep me going. You know, when I'm frustrated that YouTube, the algorithm and the garbage and stuff like that, and then I'll hear a story for someone and they'll say, Chille, you were the one that taught me this, and at first I hated you. I hated you for so long, but I kept listening and I kept listening and I kept learning. And pretty soon he found out that all the laws that were created against us were created for prohibition, for racism, or the war on drugs. Those three things have completely decimated freedom in this country. Without prohibition, without racism, and without the war on drugs, man, we almost could be a free country again if we only had a Fourth Amendment standard that no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause. Remember, we lowered the standard for Terry versus Ohio in 1968 so that they could stop the Black Panther movement, so they could run up to Black Panthers and pat them down and disarm them. That, coupled with the 1968 Omnibus Crime Bill. What was in the 1968 Omnibus Crime Bill? The Gun Control Act of 1968, where they then changed the laws of guns, coupled with Terry versus Ohio, and that ended the Black Panther movement, because what the Black Panthers were doing is they were going to voting polls, voting booths all around the country, and standing around with guns in their arms and saying, Black people have the right to vote. Do not try to intimidate us. Well, the government hated that, and that happened all through the 60s. Well, by 1968, the government wanted to stop that. And people like, oh, Chille, you know, some leftist liberal. I don't think so, because even though Charlie Kirk was murdered today, you know what would have been a better solution to that is if there had been more people armed there and they could have killed that assassin. Because if you believe that most people are good, like I believe that most people are good, an armed society is a polite society. So people on the left hearing me say this right after Charlie Kirk got murdered, they're not going to accept me. I don't get into that crowd. They're like, Chille's for everybody carrying a gun. The lefts won't have me. And then if you say you're pro-choice and that you have no problem with gays and trans, then the right doesn't want you either. You got to find a reason why and it's crazy that Charlie Kirk was sitting up there talking about gun violence and about trans people having guns and gang members having guns, and then he got offed right there live on camera. And that, my friend, is going to cause a ripple effect that is going to affect each and every one of us forever and ever and ever. And it will never go back. As a matter of fact, it makes me believe that when we do speaking events, that we're going to have some level of security that sweeps the room. We're going to have some level of security that makes sure there's a perimeter where a madman can't set up to get a shot off at you. You know, I call it the Scissor Jack Society. So what's the Scissor Jack Society? Can anybody guess what the Scissor Jack Society? Brittany, I see you in the chat. Matt, I see you. Good to see you. Nice to see you. I can't. Ultimate, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Thanks for coming. Scrubs, I see you. So I call it the Scissor Jack Society. And the Scissor Jack Society is this. Does everybody know what Scissor Jacks are? Scissor Jacks are where you can get on this lift and you push a button and these scissor jacks will raise you right up. And you can go up and you can change the lights in a gymnasium. You can change the lights wherever you go. And you can do all kinds of things on the roof, on the ceiling, using this scissor jack. I call this a Scissor Jack Society if you're an influencer, because as you can see, there's roughly 800, 900, 1,000 people in the room right now. And what can happen is that one of the 900 people who are in the crowd, they can just go, oh, well, I think this guy's whatever. So they push their button, raise themselves up, and they throw in some silly comment. Well, you know, it took me 5 years to get a room that had 1,000 people, 2,000 people in the room. And the perspective that I have is one that I've built up over the years by teaching people the foundation of the rule of law, by teaching people case law, and putting my boots on the ground and going out and auditing and filming police and doing my best to hold them accountable. Well, in a Scissor Jack Society, what can happen is with over 1,000 people in the room, someone can just decide that they're going to prop themselves up and say, oh, that Chille, he's this or that. And then, of course, one of the moderators will cut the jack and he'll get kicked out of the room. But that doesn't change the Scissor Jack Society that we live in. And what this assassin did to Charlie Kirk was sitting in front of thousands of people or hundreds of people at the Utah campus, and he was saying what he's saying because he's built himself up for the last decade. He's built himself up where hundreds of people will go and listen to him speak and hear what he has to say because he's an intelligent go-getter. He's a personality. And so now what that assassin did is he elevated himself up to kill the influencer. And to me, I believe that this will completely and utterly change society as we know it forever. We will never be the same after Charlie Kirk's murder. Things have changed forever. And rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I condemn the shooting. I condemn violence. I'm against violence. I always have been. I always will be. There's some of you, Greg, Chuck, Bruce, so many of you guys, Mikey, who have been with me from the very beginning since I first started on YouTube in late 2020, early 2021, January when I started. Since I started as an influencer, I have always condemned violence. I have always said we should never go to violence, ever. I think a super chat came through. I did not see it. Thank you for that super chat. It was Pro Se America. Pro Se America is promoting his federal civil rights case because he filed it on his own. He paid the filing fee. He's a pro se litigant. I hope you're using Claude AI and ChatGPT, the $20 versions. I hope you're writing your motion in chat and then putting the motion into Claude AI and then saying, is this motion correct? Taking the suggestions from Claude, putting it in chat, and then chat will say, here's the motion again with the recommendations. Then you take the recommendations, the whole motion, put it in Claude and say, what do you think of this? Take the recommendations, paste it back into chat or back into Claude and go back and forth. And that's the way that I use AI when I'm doing legal stuff. So I hope that you're doing the exact same thing, my friend. I hope you're doing the exact same thing. Got you. Got you. Got you. I got you. Thank you. Thank you guys very much. Moderators, thank you. I appreciate all of your support. It means a ton to me. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. There's simply no way. Let me tilt slightly this way. There we go. Anyway, I just wanted to come on just for a little bit and just talk about, number one, if you're in Duncan, Oklahoma, you're not alone. There are tips pouring in. In person, when I go out, people are walking up to me and telling me the stories of the Duncan PD. I haven't heard very many sheriff stories yet here, but I have heard a lot of stories about the Duncan Police Department. If you have one of those stories, reach out to me. Reach out to me through my website. Reach out to me through email. I'm easy to find. You can reach out to me through Instagram. If you're in Duncan, Oklahoma, and these cops have cheated you, and you were told by family, friends, acquaintances, best friends, lawyers, that you can't win, you can't beat it. You can now with the video that we put out of that cop, Nathan Hicks, choke slamming Robert Campbell. There should be some accountability coming for Nathan Hicks. He should be suspended for a month or he should be fired. Additionally, Kristen Hicks allegedly shot and murdered the canine officer Ringo. Now that that's come to light and the community of Duncan, Oklahoma knows what happened, there should be another investigation, because according to Chief I want to call him Atwater, Attaway. According to Chief Attaway, there was an investigation. So let me guess. It was an investigation done by cops for cops, because Canine Officer Ringo deserves better. Canine Officer Ringo deserves justice. And Kristen Hicks, if you murdered that dog, Kristen Hicks, which I sent her a DM on Facebook, she didn't answer. Kristen Hicks, if you murdered that dog, you should be fired. Your peace officer certificate should be stripped away. You should never be able to be a cop ever again. And you should be charged. Because if you or I touched a canine officer, we'd be charged with a felony assault on a police officer, because they consider the canine cop a cop. So every single, and by the way, the editor right now is cutting a long form version of the Ringo murder. And allegedly that Kristen Hicks was the person who pulled the trigger and killed Ringo the dog, Ringo the canine officer, which is disgusting and abhorrent, and it should be shouted down. And Kristen Hicks, which, you know, they're cowards. Kristen Hicks, Nathan Hicks, you're cowards. You know you're cowards, because when I came to talk to you, you didn't come. You ran. You didn't answer the door. I knocked on the door. You didn't come around. Nathan and Kristen Hicks. Cop car was in the driveway. That means you were there. You were scared. You didn't want to face the camera and face the public. You don't got to worry any of the cops here in Duncan. I'm a peaceful man. I'm coming with my camera. Ooh, be so afraid of the camera. Be so scared. But you know who does have to be rightfully concerned for their safety? Me. I have to be concerned for my safety. I had to invite auditors here who came here to support me and back me up, because in these little tiny towns, without a camera and transparency, they're railroading these people. They are railroading these people. Every day, new information is coming in about the Duncan Police Department is doing to people here. So if you're in Duncan, Oklahoma, you're not alone. Tell me your story. Write me an email. Tell me your story. I want to hear it. And you'd be amazed. There's some people who have written me books. I mean, I got 35 paragraphs and telling, here's what this cop did to me, and here's what they did, and here's what they did. It's happening, and it's very, very real. And the second thing that I want to talk about is Charlie Kirk, and how this is the 9/11 for all influencers, because now each and every one of us have to have this rightful, legitimate concern for our own safety now, because there are psychos out there who are shooting influencers for simply being an influencer. I find it absolutely disgusting. I can't believe it. I think it's sick. Charlie Kirk's murder is one of the worst things that has ever happened in our country, because there are so many YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook influencers who now every one of us have to be concerned for our safety. And I think that is it has me definitely really concerned and thinking. You guys do me a favor, double tap on that screen, double tap on the screen, hit that like button for me if you would, please. Way to go, Scrub. Appreciate you, man. Oh, so Maxim Moelian, Maxim, you got timed out for 60 seconds. You're not allowed to spam. So you guys don't know about Maxim. Maxim's actually a victim. Writes on, Maxim is actually a victim of police brutality. He was shot by the police when when there was a welfare check. So Maxim, you'll be back in 60 seconds. Some of the moderators don't know who you are. So Maxim Mawilian is a guy who he's mentally challenged. He's got some mental difficulties, and he was shot by the police when they went in for a welfare check. So I understand, Maxim. I'm gonna make sure that you are not hidden. You can just put him in timeout for 10 seconds, guys, and and he'll be back in 10 seconds. But I wanted to address that because Maxim is a freedom fighter, and he just can't tell his story right now because his lawyer is advising him not to. I'm advising you to tell your story, brother. I'm advising you to tell your story, Maxim, because they can't stop you from telling your story. And you should tell your story, Maxim. You actually should. Anyway, I've been on for 40 minutes just standing here talking into a camera, so I should get the flock out of here. Let me put on my glasses, though, and I'll take any questions. Anybody from Duncan, Oklahoma? If there's anybody from Duncan, Oklahoma, I would love to hear from you. There it is. Now I can see you. James Forbes, I see you. Philip, good to see you, man. Philip said, brother, you come to Oklahoma, I'll pull security for you. I'm livid about the Charlie situation, but I got vests and everything you need. I'm in Duncan, Oklahoma right now, my brother. I'm in Duncan right now. Team DLZ, good to see you. Rights On is here. F the Police is in here. Balls DP is in here. Let's OTVO. Death Angel is in here. Good to see you, man. Goofy Jester is in here. Nice to see you, man. Is that Balls DP? Is that what that is? Les Paul, my brother. My brother Les Paul is in here. Super, super grateful. Can you please restore my wrench? Oh, sorry, Matt. Sorry about that, Matty. There you go. You should be back now. A bunch of people got deleted. Raw Weber is here. Tony Wells is here. Nice to see you, Tony. Appreciate you coming. Soy Leal is here. Mark Ingram is here. I just want to give a few shout-outs to a few people. Emilio is here. Nice to see you, man. You'll have to watch the whole live stream back. Drizzle is here. What is going on? What is going on? Mahmoud is in here. What is going on? Mahmoud, how are you, my friend? Beck is in here. Beckett, good to see you. Good to see you, Les Paul. Pro Se America. Pro Se America. What is going on, my friend? I see you. You had a wrench for a while. What happened to your wrench, Pro Se America? I didn't know what happened to you, man. There you go. A bunch of people got deleted because I was cleaning stuff out. James Forbes with another $5 super chat. Anyway, listen, I am going to get the flock out of here. Eric, thank you for coming. Big shout out. Captain Conkler, Let's OTVO, Chuck P, all you guys who threw super chats in. James Forbes, Chad Sr., Dan Hanlon, Brittany's in here. Good to see you. Pro Se America. Good to see you, El Nemo. Good to see you. Good to see you, Chad Sr. Man, I love you guys. Rancho Relaxo. BS Unleashed, Danelle Brown, all my friends, Joker. Good to see everybody, man. I got to get the flock out of here. Remember, if Roger Bond, good to see you. Roger Lane, great comment today. I read it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jim, all my Dans. I got about 17 Dans who are just Team DLZ diehard. Jared, Team DLZ. Appreciate you so much. Pro Se, I got your wrench back for you. And I see you, Potter's Rights Media. Let's OTVO. Listen, I got to get the flock out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow on my birthday. Check again later. I may be live auditing cops later. Check my live later. Check the channel later. You may not get a notification, but I could be live auditing cops in just a few minutes, all right? So stay with me. Marine Bad Motherfucker was in here. Maxim Wheelian. Good to see you, Dan Hanlon. So good to see you, Eric. Man, I love all you guys. I got to go. I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you on my birthday. Later, Gators.